Adam, have you managed to recover from what was an horrific night on Tuesday at Altrincham?
No, yeah, it was not a bit of a sleepless night Tuesday night, but yeah, we got home, couldn't sleep, reflected, watched it back, and got the lads in Wednesday, showed them lots of areas that we can improve on, and yeah, got back to business and got to work again today.
Is there a concern that has really hit confidence that must have already been pretty low?
There is that potentially. I think we've got to look at it the other way, where it's kind of really sort of galvanise us. That feeling that we all had after that game, we can't let that enter the dressing room again, and that's got to be our motivation. It has to be our motivation to work as tirelessly as we can so that we don't feel that again.
There's had to be some straight talking between you and the players.
Yeah, definitely. Lots sort of maybe made of what a tough start it's been for 2 weeks, but ultimately we've got to be honest with each other, and there's things and that happened in the game that weren't acceptable. Obviously there were some mistakes as well at really bad times, and there was mistakes on my behalf as well, and it's not a case of I've just come in and pointed the finger totally. Tried to show them areas that I could potentially got better at as well, and as a collective, we've got to move on, and we've got to be ready for Saturday.
The owners came out virtually straight after the final result and said it was an unacceptable performance and are going to offer refunds to all the fans that went there. Have you spoke to them since then? Yeah,
I spoke to them a couple of times since then even, and obviously no one was more disappointed than myself, and the travelling supporters that come and give up their hard-earned money and time to come and support the team. It was nowhere near acceptable in terms of level of performance, so I think the owners done the right thing.
So how do you move forward from here then? Because you've got another really, really tough looking game of the weekend.
No, it is really tough. A few games coming up now, but I think they all are in this league, so all we can do is just like I say, work even harder and keep showing the players what we want, and like I say, there's lots of areas we've got to tighten up, obviously defensively, and when players do make mistakes, there is going to be mistakes made, but it's how you respond, and we've got to respond to them better than what we did. I think conceding so early was a big catalyst in terms of how the performance went, but it's not all going to be rosy. We are going to come up against some adversity, and when we do adversity in games, we can't just not run and give up on anything. We can't give up on any minute of any game.
Is that going to be the most important thing, first of all, then, this weekend? You're playing the team that's top of the form guide, your team's bottom of the form guide. If they don't give 100% effort, if they don't put everything into this game, there can only be one winner. Yeah,
of course there is. And with that, we still got I thought even Tuesday night, when it got to half-time, we made a few changes and there were some positive bits of play. We got to 3-1, there were some chances. I think Lenny had a good chance after half-time, which was, again, the moments that let's sort of turn games and change games. And then it was another mistake to make it 4, and it sort of knocked the stuffing out of us again. So, I'm not trying to sit here and say that we was unlucky because we made some mistakes, not at all, but those moments in games had a big impact, and we got to play like we did in that second half for me. I think it's easy to come out when you're 3-0 down and just leave everything out there, and we've got to show that now for the last 7 games, that feeling that the boys felt. They've just got to go out and play with that fearless approach and chuck everything that they can at it.
What do you know about Aldershot and Tommy Widding's inside?
Good sort of football inside. They've got sort of some good firepower up top to Large, and the lad Stokes that's got his move. Daly as well. So they've got some good technical players in forward areas of the pitch. They play an interesting sort of different kind of shape, so it's one that we've got to be wary of. At the same time, like I say, we've got to find a way at home here to get the fans behind us, and we've got to go after them as well. We can't just let them dictate the tempo of the game. We've got to try and install our tempo and play our game at our intensity.
Clearly one player who's going to be low on confidence is your goalkeeper George Sykes-Kenworthy after the mistakes he made the other night. Will he play this weekend? Are you able to tell us that? We'd look at George and Rory. One thing I will say is we've got two excellent goalkeepers here. Obviously, George's confidence took a big blow on Tuesday night, but he's got to own up to a few mistakes that he made, and he will do, and he's got to bounce back, and we look at it, we see what's best, whether he's in the right frame of mind, but like I say, we've got an excellent goalkeeper as well in Rory at the club. Is David Stockdale injured then? I know you said before he's not really being considered at the minute for a goalkeeper. Is he injured? Is that why?
We haven't sort of seen him out on the training field, so we can't then not see him for 2 weeks and then sort of chuck him into the action. And like I say, Rory's a top keeper. What a character and what a lad as well. I know he's a York lad as well, so bring that passion, and he will have strong demands of the players, and that might be needed after a heavy defeat like we've had.
Is everyone else who's been in and around the squad in recent weeks fit?
Sort of. Ducky went over his ankle when he come on against Kidderminster, and that's still not quite settled yet. That's a bit of a blow. Again, another good leader amongst the group and a good character. So he's not going to be available for Saturday. I think Leon's probably going to be back. I think them two will be back Monday. So they'll have a full week's training. Leon Gravart as well, just aggravated a groin injury, so he's not going to quite be available either for this weekend. But other than that, I'm hoping for everybody else to be fit. Danny Amos? Yeah, Danny Amos is back in the fold. He trained today, he'll train tomorrow, providing he didn't have no reaction from the calf problem. Kai Kennedy has got a bit of training today. He's been struggling with his wrist, so he's got a cast now and is available to train. He trained for the first time today and had a bit of tightness, so we've got to see how he comes through. But two good players to add to selection.
Mitch Hancock, I know he's a player that hasn't featured under you and hasn't featured under previous managers as well. Keep hearing rumours that he could be going out of the football club. Is he available to you, or is he going to be leaving?
There's talks ongoing at the moment. We've had talks with Mitch, and we'll decide what's best for him and for the football club. Nothing's concrete at the moment.
And other players leaving the football club? Is there any interest in any players going back out on loan or leaving permanently?
I think it'll just be a case if players come in, waiting for players to come in, and there could be players potentially coming in before Saturday. If we do that, then players would be able to go out the door as well.
You say players likely could be coming in before the weekend. How likely do you think that is, and what sort of areas are we looking at?
Very, very likely, strong. Obviously it's not done until it's done. There's still a long way to go in terms of medicals and things like that. But we're hoping that we'll have some players in, and at least one, and be able to provide some legs and some energy to the team. Yeah, and
I presume these are players then that you've got experience of either working with in the past or you've seen play in the past, because they need to be able to hit the ground running now, these players.
Yeah, that's it, definitely. That would definitely help, having players that we sort of know what they can bring to the team.
And as you say, if you know them, you sort of know what the character is as well, and whether they're going to integrate quickly into your squad.
Yeah, that's it. And all those factors are vitally important at this stage.
Have you got a message for the supporters? We saw the last home game here, there was a player got into an altercation with the supporter before the game, a player got into an altercation after the game. Clearly the players and the supporters weren't happy on Tuesday night as well. Is it vital they all stick together while still understanding the immense levels of frustration that there are? Yeah,
of course. I do understand the levels of frustration, but I think sometimes that can go a bit overboard, and we've got to make sure that that's not happening. But yeah, it's very easy for me to say we've all got to stick together and pull together. You know, we need a team that's more representative of the fans in the city. We definitely didn't get that on Tuesday, and that's what we'll be looking to try and do as a team.
Brilliant, thank you.
Hiya. Is there a sense of helplessness when you're on the sidelines and you're seeing things that are completely beyond your control happening regularly in a game that lead to the result that we've just had?
A little bit. You know, I'm not one to stand and point a finger at putting all of the blame on individuals that make mistakes, but definitely was a little bit of that on Tuesday. You know, players making mistakes that they simply just are avoidable, and you know. But at the same time, I look at myself as well and see what I could have done to improve, and there's definitely things I could have done as a manager to help the boys out as well. So you know, I'm not going to point all the blame on the mistakes that got made. They obviously did have a big catalyst in the game. Like I say, I thought we made a change and was really starting to play some good stuff at 3-1, and that sort of was a big factor in the game, conceding the fourth. But yeah, I look at myself, and that's what you ask of the players: look at themselves and see what they can improve. And you know, I'm no different.
Even the greatest goalkeepers have howlers, but poor old George seems to have been a change in his form. Is there any underlying reason for that? Can you put your finger on it?
I thought he was excellent on his handling. I think kept a clean sheet at Kidderminster, and was really good. But just, yeah, I think you know, in the goalkeeper position, there's so much criticism that can come your way if you do make some mistakes, and I think you've got to, as a character, be able to, if you do make a mistake, be able to deal with that and cope with that and move on, and you've got to have quite thick skin, and that's probably an area that George will have to learn from after Tuesday night.
Will he get a chance Saturday to put that right?
Potentially, like I say, he's been in training, him and Rory today. We'll see how they're both getting on, and see. I think the goalkeeper coach is spending a bit of time with George just to see where his head's at. So I think that's going to be important. But yeah, if all the signs are good and he's looking like he's ready, then yeah, there's no reason why he wouldn't start.
Even without his mistakes, you'd have lost, so the players have to take the blame as well. How do you find new ways of approaching it to try and instill in them, or find out why some of them just aren't turning up when it needs it?
No, yeah, and like I said already, it's not just the players, like myself and the coaching staff as well. We've got to take some, you know, forms of responsibility.
But you're not on the pitch though, are you?
No, we're not on the pitch, but you know, there's definitely stuff that we can do to help the players out as well. So it can't just be levelled at the players. We look at where we could have improved, and we try to show the players that. But yeah, I think you know, when the team is a bit low on confidence and not got the results, to concede as early as what we did is human nature, to be a bit of a sucker punch for them. But you know, ultimately, I would say you've got to find a way to be able to deal with that. That's where we are, and you can't for 1 minute let that affect you. You've got to put that to one side and keep fighting. And you know, I thought we'd done that at 3-0 at half time, but potentially it's easy to do that when you've sort of got nothing to lose and you can go, and that's the kind of mindset and mentality that we've got to now find for the last 7 games.
Is that the vibe in the dressing room at the moment? Bunker mentality, us against the world, basically?
Yeah, possibly a little bit. You know, I'm sure after that game there's lots of people that have going to write us off, some from our own fans, and you know, we've got to shut out that noise and stick together within the training ground walls, and you know, have that belief. And like I say, for large parts of the second half there was some good stuff for us to grab hold of and show the players.
Aldershot are top of the form guide over the last 10 games. They've scored 20, although they've conceded 16, so they're averaging 2 a game. Where are you going to find 3 goals on Saturday?
Yeah, we've got to obviously, you know, look at our defensive structure and make sure we're a bit more solid. But we've got to work on that attacking. I thought possibly second half was the best that we've had so far in the 4 games in terms of creating chances. I think Will Davis had a couple. One was shot, one header. Not saying Lenny had one as well that went over the bar. So we look at that, see how we got those chances, and keep on working on it, and putting bodies in the box is ultimately what we've got to start working on.
And if a new face does come in, will they get time to train tomorrow?
Yeah, we're hoping so. Like I say, there's a long way to go. There's medicals and that to do, but we're hoping that they'll be able to integrate with the players tomorrow.
And looking at the supporters' website or on Facebook, a few of them are saying they might keep their 20 quid in their pocket rather than turn up on Saturday. What's your message to them?
After recent weeks, especially in the 4 games that I've been here, it's totally understandable. But at this time, we probably, like I say, need everybody to come together, and we probably need their support now more than ever. But I can't. After Tuesday night, I can't, grumble with anything that they might have to say, to be honest. So, we're going to do all we can to make sure we play give them a bit more to entertain them and to cheer. But yeah, like I say, we could do with everybody sticking together and pulling in the same direction.
Thanks and good luck.
Thank you.
Hi Adam.
Hiya.
Just give us a flavour of what training was like on Wednesday morning, what was said, and what reaction you got from the players.
No, yeah, just lots of, obviously you can't do too much actually on the pitch itself, but a lot of analysis to show the players that areas, missed challenges, times that we got beat in 1v1 situations, and bits of our shape that were lacking, where players were vacating the middle of the pitch and jumping out of their positions too early. Lots of that, really, lots of analysis, and I think that some of them were even more disappointed after seeing it back in their performance. And like I say, some stern words were said. When people question your integrity as a human being, let alone a professional sportsman, you need a response, and there needs to be some action. And that's what's getting questioned after Tuesday, and we need a response and some action.
And have you seen a response and reaction since then?
Yeah, well, obviously we showed the lads Wednesday. We come in training today, still the second day recovery for some, so we've done as much work as we can. That's gone out the window a little bit because we need to work and show the players, and they seem responsive to our work today. But it's all very well being responsive on the training pitch. It's got to start being responsive where it matters, on a Saturday afternoon when they cross that white line.
Mazkiewicz came on and scored on Tuesday night. That must have been one of not many brighter moments for you.
No, definitely. I thought Maz done well when he come on. He's a player that can go past one in a 1v1, and obviously it was a great strike for the goal. So, really pleased with what he showed.
21 points left to play for. It's still doable. Do you believe you can do it?
Of course, we have to keep believing, and like I say, the only real positive that come out of Tuesday night, one was that humbling feeling and disappointment feeling that we all shared in the dressing room that we don't want to feel again, and two was the other results, which means we're still with one win can climb out of it, and that's something that we've got to really sort of use to our advantage. But it's all very well talking about that. We've got to go, and we're the ones now that have to win games of football. And if we can do that on Saturday, that would be a massive boost for us.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Oh, I can't hear what you're saying. Don't know how to work these things. Sorry, mate.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I got you now, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, good. So, Adam, after obviously Tuesday night's disappointing result, how have the players responded to that?
We was in yesterday, we showed them the footage, and, left disappointed with ourselves, me as a collective as well, in our performance. And then today it's time to put it right. And we've got to use that feeling that we felt, horrible feeling that it was, and real disappointment and anger in how we performed, as motivation moving forward.
And obviously it was a tough night for George House, Kenworthy, but how do you go about sort of protecting your players and how their mental well-being might be?
No, we've got the goalkeeper coach Joe, just sort of checking in with him and taking a bit of time out to spend some time with him. He's going to be doing that and reporting back how George is. And we had a bit of a chat today with George, and just said that as a young goalkeeper, this needs to be the making of him, really. He's got to use all the disappointment and frustration that he felt on Tuesday night to motivate himself and make sure that he learns. If you do make a mistake, you've got to learn from it, and you've got to come back stronger. You can't let one mistake affect you for a whole game.
You're still early into your tenure, but how are you dealing with the pressure that's on you right now to get that first win and start putting some points on the board?
Like I've said to you guys many times before, I put pressure on myself, even when I was at a team that was overperforming. It's just my human nature, and like you guys probably know, I'm quite honest. I can't hide my disappointment, and at the moment, we've got to be going into Saturday upbeat and with that belief and full of belief, and that's what I've got.
Going into this Aldershot game, what do you make of York's opponents for Saturday?
No, obviously, Tommy's done an excellent job at Aldershot. Flying high. They haven't been up in and around the playoffs for a while, Aldershot as a team. A club that I know well, and they've got some really good players that I know as well. So a real tough team to play against. We've got to focus as well a little bit on what we can do, because we've got to start winning games.
Aldershot are going to be high on confidence after their very good run of form. Is it important that you're perhaps getting an early goal here?
It'd be nice, definitely. Take one if it's being offered, 100%. But it's not the be all and end all. And in football, you can't go into a game hoping that you score early, or what if you don't? What if the opposition scores? So you've got to be ready for all outcomes, and there is going to be times where there's some adversity in the game against us, and that's when we've really got to come together as a team.
Looking at our team as well, Adam Crooksey likely to be back involved?
Crooksey and Burge are back on the grass now, doing some running. Still think they probably need a full week of training next week. Probably not in contention for Bromley, but potentially over that Easter weekend, them two should both be back, providing, touch wood, that they don't have any sort of setbacks or anything, or don't feel nothing when they start progressing their rehab.
And Tyler Coleman not involved on Tuesday night. Is he got any injuries or anything like that? No sort of injuries from Tyler. Just one that we're sort of still working with back at the training ground. We'll keep on working with him, and he's not one that should be out for too much longer either. Kevin Castro back at the football club. He's had big parts of you so far as well. What is it about him that's impressed you enough to not only just bring him back to the club, but to give him back-to-back starts as well?
I think he's a young, exciting footballer that we're pleased to have at the club. I think obviously he's got to learn. I think it was the second goal, he maybe got caught on it and they broke quickly. He can't level all the blame at Castro's door for that goal, but again, a young player that needs to learn quickly, that we can't be giving up the ball as easy as that. But at the same time, he's a player that can create something. He's got enormous amounts of ability, and a player that I'm really excited to be working with.
And on Saturday, there's some big games. Filed versus Wilson, obviously towards the bottom of the table. Kidderminster away to promotion chasing Bromley. During a match, are you ever aware of any of the other results around you, or have you got someone who perhaps looks at them for you and lets you know?
No, I'm not at that sort of stage yet. It's got to be full focus on what we're doing. We can't take our eye off the ball for 1 minute and let anything, our minds get away from the job in hand.
The last one from me, you've had around 2 weeks, I believe it is, of training sessions now. Is there anyone who's perhaps stood out to you or anything like that? Anyone who's made a good impression to you?
No, yeah, I think there's some good technical players at the club and some good younger players as well that you're, like I say, excited to work with. Like you've mentioned already, Castro and Thierry, good young prospects for this club. We need to keep on working with them and guiding them well, but there's lots of players at the club that we're really excited to be working with.
Brilliant, thank you very much.
Cheers, thank you.